All right, so let's go on to the refined session for lesson 15 for multiplying a decimal by a whole number. Now, our next lesson will have two decimals being multiplied, and that has a slightly different change on the rules for doing this. So let's just jump right in with a warm up. So for the warm up, it says use any strategy to find the product. So again, the 4 and the 2.6, those are factors. And we know from talking before that um, the decimal place shown for one of the factors is going to determine what the decimal place value or placement is going to be for the product. So let's just set this up. 2.6 times 4. And we really don't pay attention to that decimal point in the 2.6 just yet. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2 is 10. So again, we have one place value shown here for the factor. So ours goes right there. Another thing you can do is estimate. You can also go take this whole number and this whole number. We know 4 times 2 is 8. So if our final answer is 10 and 4/10, that makes sense. That's a reasonable answer. So that's another way just to double check yourself as far as if the decimal point's in the right place. Okay, so go ahead and turn to page 319. And let's just jump right in. We're going to skip this question because it's already solved for us. All right. And we'll do most of these. There's not really that many examples for this. So Gail sells 16 bags of cherries at the farmer's market. Each bag weighs 1 8/10 pounds. How many pounds of cherries does Gail sell in all? Show your work. So since order doesn't matter, we can put any number here in any order, top or bottom. I like to put 16 up top here because it's technically larger than 1 8/10, but again, it doesn't matter. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. Since this is a two-digit multiplication, get our placeholder there, cross this out. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. All right, so we got 8, 8, 2. We have one place value shown was one of our factors. So our final answer is going to be 28 8/10 pounds. That's the answer for that first one. All right, let's turn the page. Again, if you're listening to this video at home or going back to review with family, then you can always pause and rewind if I'm going too fast. A person's hair grows 1 2/10 centimeters in 1 month. How much would the person's hair grow in 9 months? So we have 1 2/10 centimeters. We want to see how much it grows in 9 months. So we have this. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10. We have one place value. So it's going to be 10.8 centimeters. And again, you can see if that's reasonable. You can estimate by taking, for example, 1.2 times 9. Take that 1 and the 9, and that's close to our 10 and 8/10, so that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, it just takes a second to do a quick estimate. Number 3, what is the product of 2 and 73/100ths? So product, of course, is the answer you get from a multiplication problem. Let's put 73/100ths times 2. Got 6, 14, 1. We've got 2 decimal places here, so we'll do it there. And it looks like our answer is C. Kendall chooses B. 14 6/10 is the correct answer. How did she get the answer? She put the decimal point in the wrong spot. And that's simply, again, place value is really powerful in that if you move a number to a different place value, it drastically increases or reduces it. So 14 6/10 is definitely bigger than 1 46/100ths. decimal place. Okay. All right, for this one, I wanted to try this. Which product has a value of 16 and 6800? So here's what I think we can do. Let's try to estimate. Let's change these numbers for A, B, C, and D so they're easy to work with. So let's try this as 300 times 6, and that's going to give me 1800. That's too big. That's too big for that one. This one we can do 30 times 60, and that will give me the same amount. This one I can change this to 30 times 6, which that gives me 180. And for this one, why don't we change this to 3 times 6? That gives me 18. So by estimating and changing these numbers, and it's ones that are much easier to work with, it's pretty clear that D is our answer. And estimation is your friend with multiplication. We're skipping 5 and we're skipping 6. And let's move on to 7. All right. The area model below can be used to find the product of 3 and 2 and 1700. So that's true. Complete the area model, find the product. Now, area models work like this. It takes the one side times the other, gives us that. This is 3 times 1/10, which gives us 3/10. And this is 3 times, and that gives us 21/100. Sorry, I ran out of space there. And now what we do is we take our 6, and then we have our 0.3 and our 0.21. We add all these together. Got 1, 5, 6. The answer is 6 and 51/100. Let's go ahead and skip number 8. And let's finish up with number 9. Miles said that the 5 and 1300 is 6.5. Do you agree? Well, simple way to do that is just to solve it. Oops. Did that wrong. I was looking at the wrong number. Now this makes more sense. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 1 is 5. It's 6. 5 times 0 is 0. So we've got 2 place values. So actually the answer is 6500ths. If you look at what he did, he put an answer as 6.5. So obviously he put his decimal point in the wrong spot. So just again, if you're careful with your decimal place value, where your placement is, you should do okay. All right, so for this IXL, I'd like you to work on I8, multiply a decimal by a 1-digit whole number. We're going by the standard 70% to get full credit, and then 100% for mastery. Okay, and a house point.